Aloha. Aloha. I'd like you all to join me on a time aboard a time machine. We all know what a time machine is, right? Well, we're going to go back to World War II. We have a couple World War II vets here, like Colonel Bates and stuff. You're going to go to Southern California to an officers club, an Army officers club. There's a young lieutenant there, and he's there on his first date with a beautiful Irish gal, Colleen, a knockout. It's his first date. It's probably his last. And suddenly, the door to that club opens up, and a very bold senior officer, not lacking in hubris, walks right up to that table, introducing himself to that beautiful Irish girl, Elizabeth Murphy. And all of a sudden, a few weeks go by, and they're in Georgia, getting married. They had to do that because they're going on their honeymoon to Havana, Cuba, where they had drinks at Sloppy Joe's. I know because I've been there checking it out. Well, they came back to the U.S. and they got aboard. In 1952, they got aboard the SS Lorling. It's the premier cruise ship of Manson Lines. And Fred was in the war with the captain of the ship. So he's at the captain's table, and when they pulled into harbor, Murph and Fred were in the bridge with the captain, and the kids are diving for pennies. This is the old-fashioned days when things were, this was back when we were a territory. Well, Fred and Murph landed in Hawaii in 1952, and things would never be the same. They started the Waikiki Hotel, the Tahitian Lanai, and many other buildings, and most of all, they started the Mokulea Polo Club, Mokulea Polo Farm. That's why I have my, nobody else has one of these here, have they? And they started all these things. And that also started my romance with Murph Dailey. Of course, it started with Fred, because Fred and I really liked each other. That's very in these days. But anyway, so Fred introduced me to polo. He also introduced Murph to the U.S. Polo Association. She was an incredible athlete. She was doing fishing, swimming, hiking. And most of all, she was a pretty darn good polo player. Murph, 12 March 1976, a day here at Mokulea that everybody seemed to forget but me. I played my first chucker on the side field here on a horse named Loki. It was all set up by Bob McGregor and the Eminger family, and of course Fred. At the end of the practice sessions, Fred would line the polo players up here in the field and have a talk with them, kind of like he was an Army sergeant. These guys are multi-millionaire corporate guys. And he'd walk up and down, he'd tell them the way it had to be on Sunday polo. They had to have blue blazers, Mokulea ascot, were they red? And they had to have their beard spread out. And if they didn't like it, they couldn't play here. And about the time the stress got maximum, Murph Dailey would walk up with a basket of chocolate chip cookies. Well, my romance with Murph continued. We had a couple of black tie parties, not to be forgotten, about 3-4 dozen Pikaki lays, and eventually our relationship evolved to where I come out here and Murph introduced me to Cheetos, the big ones. And so we washed those down with Johnny Walker Red, and I needed a driver to get home. Well, to take a little sidebar here. When I was about 9 years old, my grandfather died, and I remember touching his hand. It was really cold, and I was shook up. My grandmother, Laura Todd, took me out to the porch on our apartment in Chicago, and she said, "Patrick, look up at the sky. Those stars in the sky are really portholes where people we've lost are up there looking out for us. And your grandfather's there. He's looking out for you and me. Don't you ever let him down."
Yeah.
You're cut off. So then, now you know where I'm going. The portholes in the Hawaiian sky. They're going to be there tonight, and Murph Dailey's going to be there. But while she's there, she's probably riding a horse named Moki. She's probably hugging a guy named Fred Dailey. She's probably having long chats with Al Lapaka, Marcus of Waterford, other people that have sort of passed on. But Murph is up there, and she's up there, and she's looking out for each and every one of us, all of us. So let's make sure we never let her down.
Mahalo, Patrick. I'd like to call up Devin Dailey at this time.